Now, Dr Amir and Dr Hilary are back with me. So, Hilary, news this morning that half of dementia cases could, in fact, be prevented.
Now, this is going to be great news for many, because I think after cancer, or perhaps the same as cancer, people fear it more than anything, dementia. And about 45% of cases could be prevented by people having a lower cholesterol and adjusting their lifestyle to make it healthier. So what they're saying is, you know, check your cholesterol from the age of 40 and get it lowered if it's too high. Also, untreated visual loss is a major new factor, a new modifiable factor for reducing your risk. So there are 14 things that this study has identified. Things like hearing loss, visual loss, obesity, too much alcohol, any head injury, diabetes, smoking. But of all these things, the Commission is saying it's really important to think about a hearing aid early before you lose contact with the outside world through not being able to hear conversation.
Exactly, just become so isolated,
because loneliness and isolation is a really major factor. But they're also saying less bacon and sausages, because a diet that's high in saturated fat increases cholesterol, contributes to obesity levels as well. And they reckon that about 6 in 10 people in this country have got highish cholesterol, which accounts for 30% of, or 7% of dementia cases, but, you know, could really have a drastic effect if we you know,
so just
adopted
get on
healthy
all
lifestyles.
of those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and just be on it. Go get your eyes tested,
Absolutely.
get your ears tested, all of the, and there are little things that
Stay
we
in
can do.
contact, keep your brain busy, all of these things.
It's so interesting, isn't it? That's a huge number. My goodness, imagine if that was the shift, it would be incredible.
Sure.
Lots of talk about a blood shortage.
Yeah, this is quite serious at the moment. So there's an appeal for more people to come forward and donate blood. You know that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did this video appeal not so long ago, and you know, clearly that will influence a lot of people. But there's a shortage at the moment. There was a cyber attack, a big cyber attack in June, and stocks fell to about 2 days' worth of blood for accidents, emergencies, injuries, and people having cancer treatments and surgery. So we're appealing especially for people with blood group O negative or O positive to come forward and get those 45,000 appointments filled before September. This is an urgent appeal. Blood is always in demand, but particularly at the moment, they're unprecedentedly low levels. And whilst those city donor centres want people now, the mobile units are pretty busy all the time, but it's the established fixed places where they want people to come forward and go online, make your appointment and come in and get your blood donated.
And what is the process, Amir, exactly? How do you give blood?
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is go online on blood.co.uk. If you go on the website, there's a number you might call as well if you prefer to phone and make an appointment. As Dr Hilary was saying there's 25 sites in towns and cities where you can book into appointments, and they've got appointments in the coming weeks. So if you think, or if you know your blood group O negative in particular, or any O positive, please do come forward. That's the universal donor. That can be given to most people who need it. And when you get there, you'll be asked to fill out a questionnaire. You'll be talked to by someone just to make sure you're fit and healthy and eligible to give that blood. And then the bloodletting bit, just taking the blood, takes about 5 to 10 minutes, but from start to finish, you're probably there for about 30 to 60 minutes, depending on whether it's your first time or whether you've been before. And I said before, Christine, whenever I go, you know, you do chat to other people. It's really sociable. You get a cup of tea, a biscuit. You just have to wait around afterwards, after you've given the blood, just to make sure you're okay, and then you're free to go. But it's quite a sociable, pleasant experience, and you're doing such a good thing.
You're doing an incredible thing, absolutely. I remember being tested once, and because I was anemic, I couldn't give blood. So there are some people who can't.
That's right. I mean, the hot weather makes people a little bit dehydrated, so they can't give blood at that time. Also, low iron levels can result from hot weather, apparently. So you have to fulfil the criteria. So, as Amir said, you have to be generally fit and well, age between 17 and 65. Your weight has to be somewhere between 7, 12 and 25 stone. It's a lot of scope there. And, you know, you can't have had a transplant, you can't have had cancer or treatment for certain heart disease, you can't have had hepatitis. So there are exclusions, obviously. But for most people, most healthy people, they are eligible, and we'd really appreciate people to come forward. I mean, I've given interviews on TV, you know, having my blood taken. It is an easy thing to do. It doesn't hurt. You have a nice chat with a nurse and a biscuit. So what can't be?
It's all about the
What's not
biscuits,
to
you
love?
two, yes, exactly. But it's life-changing. It's as simple as
absolutely.
that.
1 unit can save 3 people.
That's incredible.
You know, children with having chemotherapy and cancer, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. That's all you have to think about. How do you find out what your blood type is, Amir?
Yeah, for most people, it's a case of taking a sample of the blood and then checking what blood type they have. But the NHS doesn't do that routinely unless you need blood and we need to check your blood type. So the best way to check what blood type you are, if you don't know, and lots of people don't, is to give blood. They will check your blood type. They will tell you. And even though we say, you know, we need blood group O, positive and negative, that is the priority. But all blood is welcome. So the best way to know, go and give blood.
Absolutely, just go and do it. Mira, also, of course, we're talking about memory. We tested your memory earlier on. You both did very well, it has to be said. But what can we do at home to help boost our memory, just to keep it all in working order?
Yeah, there's lots of things that we can do. I love a top 5, and here are my top 5 tips to keep your memory ship and sharp. So number 1 is eat less refined sugar. Natural sugar in fruit and veg, that's all fine, but refined sugar in things like cakes and sweets, not so good for the brain. In fact, it can shrink the part of the brain that is responsible for memory. Number 2, my favourite things, omega-3 fatty acids. Get them in your diet. They're really good for the brain. They help with brain cell formation. They help with brain cells communicating with each other. Yes, you can take an omega-3 fatty acid supplement, but my advice is get it from your diet. Eat more oily fish, salmon, mackerel, tuna, or if you're vegetarian, nuts like walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. You get all the nutrient benefits as well as the omega-3s. Number 3, you might not think about this one, but meditate. Meditation is actually shown to improve the grey matter in your brain, which is responsible for some of your memory. And as we age, our grey matter starts to decline, so meditation can help with that. Number 4, good quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours. I know it's easier said than done, but sleep helps consolidate your memories that you've made that day, so try and get that in. And the 5th and final one, train your brain. Do things like puzzles, jigsaws, games. And training your brain includes talking to other people and being social as well. All of that will help with your brain health and keep your memory healthy.
Absolutely brilliant. Well remembered, that list of 5. That's very impressive in itself. Now, Hilary, my little boy will be very pleased with this because I have taught him about the old apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, 2 keeps the specialist away.
OK, I'll tell him that one. He's only 3, he mightn't get that right. But they might be able to help you sleep.
Well, apparently, there's one study has shown that in postmenopausal women, at any rate, if you substitute high sugary foods to low GI foods that give up the sugar slowly in terms of carbohydrate, that can actually help you to overcome insomnia and help you sleep. They also can get a little bit of melatonin, the sleep hormone, but also fibre and potassium. So this is not a bad snack at 50 calories to have if you're still peckish before you go to bed.
Yeah, green or red?
Not a Granny Smith's, apparently. Any of the other varieties.
Really?
Maybe a Cox's.
OK.
Yeah, would be preferable.
Maybe one apple's better than the other. I was just intrigued.
Very healthy.
Doctors, thank you so much indeed, as always.